So what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover using the various tools that social media has to boost your content. So what's available, how different businesses do it. And we're kind of going to do a bit of a versus today. So we are looking at Aldi versus Asda. So who promoted their products better and why? So what tactics did they use using social media, and how can you take something away from that and maybe apply it to your own business? How posts perform better on different channels and why. So how can you take the same content and put it on Instagram or Facebook, and why would it perform differently? So I'm kind of going to go into the whys and whats and wheres, a little bit of that, and then hopefully again give you guys some good tangible takeaways. Then we're doing another versus. So we are doing Innocent versus Proteinworks. So again, different businesses, but the point is that it's all about how they engage their customers. So the first one was about promoting products. This one is about how they're engaging their customers more effectively through kind of meme style content. And then we are going to go back to our content calendar, which we've introduced over the last few weeks, which is awesome. It basically has all of the national days, all the national campaigns, and for the whole of the year, all put into little tabs for ease. And we will come up with some ideas on how you guys can use some of the national days that are coming up for your own content. So this is Aldi is obviously someone that we're talking to today. And what I wanted to show you guys was all about prioritizing learning from your competitors. So one of the fastest ways to learn what's going to work is actually by looking at your competitors or other people, I guess, that you can find inspiration from, what they're doing and how to then improve using Maybe. So using Maybe, you can dive straight in. So this basically is, so this was against Maybe, and I decided that I wanted to listen to Aldi. So I wanted to look at what kind of content Aldi are putting out there across all their social channels. So literally, this is what I get to see. I get to see the plethora of posts that they've put up over the previous week, and then I get to compare mine to theirs. So whether you're a supermarket, a greengrocer, or actually just Aldi, I'm not going to lie, they do really good content, so it's worth having a look at to see if you can find any inspiration anyway. But it means that you can compare yourself with anybody else, and you can learn from it, you can adapt, and guess what, you can also remix it, so you can take any of their posts and turn it into a post on your page too. So it's just a really good way, I guess, of being able to compare, get inspiration, and come up with some new ideas for your content. So I say this every week, I bang on about it, but I'm not going to apologise for it, because guess what? We're all on social media. 79.1% of consumers in the UK spend over an hour a day on social media. That is huge. And guess what? A lot of them are buying on there too. And only 19% of businesses have active social media accounts. So if you want to take more of that market share, get more social, and that is exactly why you're here. It's exactly why you're here, to learn and to get some inspiration, and hopefully, flood social media with all this great content that you can use to support your businesses. Because remember, we help over 25,000 businesses get more out of social media, because it's a really good way of comparing your social media performance against any other business, which no other platform can do. All of the social media tools and insights that you need to use social media more effectively. And we've got loads of this. So every day we've got different training, we've got a training hub, loads of great stuff. So just make sure that you get in there and you actually start using it. And remember, there's a little blue, we call it the magic button, little blue button, if you need anything at all. There's lots of me's hovering around waiting to help you. Right, I've done my bit. Here we go. So I want to look at Aldi first. So this is where we are going to look at the channels. So I'm going to start off with this one. Okay, so this was a juicy post, if you like, from Aldi. Now this is our Aldi versus Asda. And what they wanted to do was kind of go off-piste with a really standard kind of promotional post. Now what Aldi like to do, and I'm going to go, you've seen a little bit of their content there where, they like to use memes, they like to take the mickey, they like to do little funny videos where they talk about, I don't know, like daft things that have gone on. They like to tag in, Iceland, they like to, poke fun at other supermarkets. But this, I'm not going to lie, I kind of looked at it and went, all right, okay, so, Just Shot is only 99p each, in store now, Aldi. Right, it is a fairly bog standard promo post, if you like. So what can we learn from this, right? So they are a business after all. So yes, they can do their GIFs, yes, they can do their memes, yes, they can do all their fun stuff. And that is about engaging and getting new people to them. That's about engaging with their existing audience to kind of keep, you know, keeping people's minds, oh, Aldi. This is new stuff and they just want to sell it. And that's actually all right. It's okay to do promo posts. So again, you're thinking about your tactics. Okay, so this is about taking what social media allows you to do at its best and selling your products, promoting what you have using social media as your shop window. So that is what the tactic is here on Facebook. Now, you could literally use Canva or something like that to add in, you know, the only 99p each. You can add in your logo. You can, I mean, all of that stuff, like you can do that really cheap and cheerfully. You don't have to have a marketing department to do that, but you can do it where it's just simple. It shows you exactly what it is they want you to purchase. But what they've done is they've tapped into the now. So they've tapped into, well, not right this second, but they've tapped into right at the beginning of the new year. Want a great energy boost and some and some health perks to start the new year off. Look no further than our brand new juice shots. Choose from 3 flavors and find them all in store now. Now, this post, right, which again, bog standard promo, buy this now, you know, like, you know, they've tapped into the new year, new you health kick sort of thing, but it's you know, there's no bells and whistles with this post. It has had 6.6 thousand engagements, 1.8 thousand comments and 341 shares for this. Huge. So they've tapped into the New Year health kick. So it's about people enjoying like fruit juice and, you know, and they've tapped into that whole gut health, immune support. I guess all the things that people are thinking about when it's horrible. And, you know, I just said everyone's fallen over in the ice today and things like that. You know, it's not very nice outside. So people are thinking about what they put into their bodies or maybe spending a bit more time at home. So they've tapped into that. But ultimately, what they've done is they have used this as a pure promo tool. So they've cottoned onto the time of year. They've introduced the right product for that time of year, added in a bit of branding and a wee rainbow to make it look nice. Bob's your uncle. It is a great post. So what I would say any business can learn from this is that sometimes it is about keeping it simple and keeping it straightforward, because actually look at, you know, like people have gone mad for it. You know, had the mango one today, it goes nice with gin and tonic. Well, do you know what? No one says you have to be healthy all the time, and gin and tonic, you know, low calories and all that, good for you. People have said, let's get some home deliveries. Clearly they want a bucket load of that, that's fine. But have you seen Aldi responding, which again, you always have to make sure you do. So it's simple, you know, sort of people said it's nice, but still expensive. I can make my own for one bottle for £2.50. That's interesting because they're saying it's only 99p. But basically what I'm saying is that here, you can see it is cheap, cheerful, simple, straight to the point, and plugs into the time of year. So anybody can learn from this. Sometimes it is just about keeping it simple. What would you call it? KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, whatever you want to say, or keep it simple, sweetheart, if you're feeling in a particular nice mood today. Right, now I want to have a look at an alternative channel. So let's have a look here. So this is Instagram, and they posted the same post. Now you'll have seen, or you might have cottoned on to in their little content calendar, they did actually have quite a lot of the same content across Facebook and Instagram. For those of you who are maybe new to social media, you can basically anything you post on Facebook, it can automatically post, if you like, onto Instagram, and then you can do the same thing with Instagram to Facebook. The only thing to watch out with is if you're going to do that, it won't tag properly, and you need to think about your hashtags. So if you're tagging anybody and you want it to go straight from Facebook to Instagram, make sure that when you are scheduling in your post, you make sure that you click on the Instagram button and tag in the right account, because otherwise it just doesn't go right. Anyway, that's just a little aside. Exactly the same post here. They have added in some hashtags, which they didn't really focus on in the Facebook post. And now this has had 5,700 likes. And yeah, a fair few comments. Would I say it's been commented on more on Facebook? 100%. So whilst it's had more likes, which Instagram is easy, getting someone to like something, super, super simple, right? Likes isn't what we need. We want comments, we want engagement, we want people to be in there and talking about it. So that's the difference between I guess, so Facebook almost is the natural platform for people to feel they can have a conversation. People go in there to use groups. People go in there to, I don't know, make a complaint. People go in there to ask advice for things, go into, you know, I don't know, local community groups. People go in there to meet with other like-minded people. Instagram is different in that you follow hashtags in order to follow a topic. And yes, you'll comment on it, but you don't get the same kind of, you know, like loads of paragraphs and all this kind of stuff. It's much more difficult with Instagram. So really what you want is for people to look at that and go, that looks good, or tag in a friend. So where you could elevate something like this for Instagram is to put something like, I don't know which flavor is a bit of you, because people love on Instagram to tag in a friend, and they also like to give an opinion. Where Facebook is slightly different, you know, they like to ask questions and ask about ingredients and things like that. So something that we can learn from here is that whilst posting the same content is absolutely fine, sometimes you do need to think about the tactics that are available on each channel, or the tools that are available on each channel, aka the tag functions, thinking about the use of hashtags, adding in more, thinking about questions. Even you could have, you know, put up a story with a little poll, you know, like which one's the most popular out of them. I don't know, do you want to focus on your gut health or your immune health? You know, added in some top tips. There's different ways to elevate this basically for Instagram in order to get people to engage as opposed to just liking. So I just wanted to show you that whilst, you know, they're a huge brand, there are different ways that they can elevate this to drive engagement as well. Oh, you can also turn this image into a reel. So you can add some music over it and you can make it move and things like that. So it doesn't have to be a video. You can turn it into a reel, and it's automatically, Instagram are going to boost that anyway, because they always push reels out more. Okay, we're going to keep moving, people. So we've talked about Aldi. We're going to go versus Asda. So who promoted their product better and why? So this is, and then we're going to go back to the channels. So this is the Asda pizza. And basically they did like a little reel where they basically they walked in and they cooked pizza and they showed it, and it was just get your Asda pizza cooked for 40p, and it's super simple post. It's just them showing off their pizza, getting it cooked. And then it says here, ultimate Asda hack. Did you know that you can pick your pizza and have it heated for only 40p at our pizza counters? It's the perfect easy takeaway and saves putting the oven on at home. It's a win-win. What's your pizza topping of choice? Tell us. Now that had 5,000 engagements, a whole load of comments from people telling them, you know, what's their favorite thing. Now, what tactics did they employ here to make this strong? Now, you'll see in terms of likes, roughly the same in terms of Instagram as Aldi, but in terms of engagement, they got a lot more engagement. And the reason why is because they have done a reel, so it's been boosted anyway, so you're going to attract new people to it. They've done a lot more hashtags, which actually work for, you know, obviously what they're promoting. So recipe hacks, new year, new me, pizza counter, easy meals, all that kind of stuff. So that's stuff that people are going to be looking for. Then they've given us like a top secret thing, which maybe people didn't even know they could do. You know, normally you would just put your pizza in the trolley. How would I know that I could go to the pizza counter? Brilliant. So now I know that. And it's only 40p, cheap as chips, brilliant. You know, like sort of, you know, like giving a nod to the fact that people are struggling a little bit, you know, especially at the moment, especially in January. And then they've asked people for their opinion, give us your pizza topping of your choice. So it's thinking about a reel versus a static image. Well, a static image can work. There are ways to elevate it by literally just, I mean, it was just a pizza chucked in a pizza oven. It was nothing exciting, but it does drive more engagement naturally. And now I want to look at what they put on Facebook, because guess what? I can't compare what they do on Facebook versus Instagram. And that's what the interesting thing about Asda is. So Asda do all their, I guess, like, you know, their kind of fun content on there is, you know, product related, engaging stuff, you know, stuff that I guess, what would I call it? You know, stuff that I guess, you know, sells and promotes Asda. What they do on Facebook is this. This is a beautiful story. So everyone at our Weymouth store is proud of their pharmacy colleague, Fiona, who helped save the life of a 58-year-old customer who had a stroke and stopped breathing while collecting her medication. She was an off-duty nurse called Heidi, who happened to be in the store at the time, and dashed to help the lady. They grabbed a defibrillator. I mean, I can't even imagine. And then they go in and they do like a big quote from everybody that was involved. And that had 12,000 engagements. Huge, huge. 1.3 thousand comments and 212 shares. And look at her face. So, you know, she clearly is somebody that, you know, isn't used to being in front of the camera, bless her. She probably didn't, like, I can imagine they probably had to drag her, you know, like, no, you know, she just did a good thing. She probably didn't need the recognition, or maybe shied away from it, but she got the recognition, and 12,000 people, or there was 12,000 engagements as part of that. So the reason why Asda do that on Facebook is going back to what I said about Aldi. The reason why they do that on Facebook is because Facebook is where people love seeing the human story, people love connecting, people love celebrating wins, people love commenting, people love, it's a community. Facebook's that community where you can all engage with each other. And that is what this post does. That connects me to that story, that connects me to, you know, the wonderful team that are at Asda, and it connects me to the understanding that that was, you know, like, you know, something that could have turned into something more horrendous. You know, she saved, ultimately, you know, saved somebody's life. It's incredible. So that is where, when you're thinking about your tactics, sometimes it is about thinking about the channels as well, and using the right tactic on the right channel. And sometimes, you know, if you have a look at Asda's feed, this is all that's on there. It is all celebrating colleague wins, whether it's they've done a fun run, or whether it's that they've, I don't know, they won an award, or it could be something that, you know, they've saved someone's life, or, you know, they've done something kind of heroic. That's what their Facebook's filled with. It isn't this. So that's the difference between Aldi and Asda. So I would love to know in the Q&A who you think promotes their products better, what you think they do, if you've got any questions on any of the stuff that we're talking about just now, because I guess, you know, if you're wanting to connect with people on a human level, you can celebrate your team on Instagram as well, but sometimes it is about having that balance. So, and also having the mix of types of content. So use a reel, use a static post, but it is you know, always make sure you're encouraging people to do something off the back of it as well. And even this, you know, this was more just, you know, a human celebrating humans type of thing. But yeah, loads of lovely stuff there from Asda versus Aldi. So this has been a little bit slow, guys, bear with me. There we go. So this is Asda's content calendar. Now, can you see what I mean, right? So this, again, you can compare anybody. So I just typed in Asda and this is what came up on Maybe. So you can see, right, all the pink is Instagram. And then you've got the light blue, and then you've got the dark blue. So that is, you've got Twitter and you've got Facebook. So what you'll see here is exactly what I said. The tactics are different. What they do on these channels is different. How they use the channels is very different. So you'll see all the pink here, you can see is all of the kind of, you know, product related stuff. It is their funny things, you know, like here, it's like a little dog. We can fully relate to the Monday morning feels. And then, yeah, they've tagged in the account. So it's a little dog account. And build up your meals on a budget. They do lots of reels. They do lots of life hacks. And then, of course, you've got Twitter and Facebook. But actually, here you can see, look, it is their people. All people. All people. So that goes back to what I was saying. If you understand what tactics work and what on which channel, you can spend more time doing that. So make sure that, you know, if you've got a close competitor, add them into the content calendar. Start actually looking, start learning from them, because that is why we do this. That is why we give you these tools, because the more that if I was another supermarket, the more I looked at that, I would think, wonder if I could maybe, you know, like change things up a little bit and do a bit more on Facebook about, I don't know, the human side of things, the community side of things, and maybe make Instagram more this or Twitter more that. No harm in looking, guys, is there? So yeah, I just wanted to show you that because I think it really makes a very clear view of the type of content and how they plan it in. Right, Innocent. I have spoken about Innocent before. I absolutely love Innocent's social media. Can't help it. And I wanted to show you, I guess, a different type of tactic that they use and a different type of the kind of tools, I guess, that, you know, they're using, which is at everyone's disposal, that all of you guys could be using. Here we go. Sorry, it's always a teeny wee bit slower on Zoom, guys. I apologize. Right. So this is innocent, kind of, you know what Aldi did, where they were promoting their product, but they were, you know, in your face. Here's a product, buy it, because it's January, because you need to look after your gut health, blah, blah, blah. Here, slightly different. They're not promoting any product. They're promoting themselves. They are engaging with people. That is what this is, a bit of fun. So I'm going to point out this first before we go into the caption. So this is what will capture people's attention. This is the bit on Instagram where you can capture people's attention. So this is simple to do. Again, Canva or any other tool like that, you can literally type something in, add in a wee logo, and then you've got a really strong image. Okay. So good news, everyone. We're now halfway through January, just another 378 days left. So I like that. So it is that kind of, you know, everyone moans about January. Everyone gets, you know, the January lull. We'll talk about just how miserable everything is, you know, as I said earlier on, people falling over in the ice or the rain or the wind, or, you know, everyone being a bit skint. You know, it just is what it is. You know, January is what it is. And I've personally chosen to embrace it this year, but this is it poking fun and going, guys, we're halfway through January, well done. But, you know, we've still got, like, you know, all this time to go. So that is that is going to capture your attention. Then this is the bit of fun. So this is just as Bon Jovi sang, "You Give Love a Bad Name." Oh, you thought we were going to say, "Whoa, we're halfway there." Yeah, that probably would have made more sense. I love that, right? It is absolute nonsense. It is funny. Please tell me that all of you know both of these songs, because otherwise that is going to be really tricky to explain. And no, I'm not going to sing it, as much of a Bon Jovi fan as I am. No, basically both songs, you know, "You Give Love a Bad Name." Why are they talking about that? It makes absolutely no sense. But obviously the other song would. They're just taking the mickey. It doesn't even really matter. I shouldn't even have to explain it. The point is they are taking the mickey. They are just trying to brighten up your little day when you go on Instagram and you're blimmin' miserable and you're sitting there going scroll, 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 scroll. That's what you're doing on social media. Aimless, sometimes desperately trying to find a cure for January. Well, there's my little cure there. There's something that would make me giggle. And if I knew a Bon Jovi fan, I would 100% tag them in. If I don't know, if, you know, I might even share it on my feeds, because I thought it was funny. I could share it, you know. It's just to engage their existing audience. That's it. So when you think about tactics, sometimes it is about just, I don't know, brightening up people's day, and it is so easy to do. So it is thinking about popular song lyrics. It's thinking about, you know, I don't know, there might be a big concert that's going on. There might be something that's going on in the world that you can talk about. It might be something that's just going on, something that's happened today. Like as I said, literally, I was on the school run and so many people fell over and people were filming each other, and it actually was quite amusing. Obviously, because it would be, that would be something that if I was, whether I was a cafe owner or a shopping centre, I could talk about and make light of on my day. You know, like, you know, it could be that you use a little GIF, doesn't matter. But my point is that they've pointed out that people are a bit miserable. They've tried to make me laugh and tried to make me smile being on their feeds. So they're like, people have, you know, gotten really into it. So people have said, you know, day 4,572 of January be like, and why does everyone hate January? It's my birthday. It's like torture. Can't be counted in like this, all right. Feels like forever. My January's gone quick. As I like to say, Friday, just another day closer to Monday. We can do it, yeah, till 2024. People are laughing. It's just hilarious. It's just funny. It is just poking fun. So when, again, you're thinking about what you can learn from these big brands, and this is about engagement, right? So I'm talking about, you know, like that, the other one was about selling products and you know, and how they use the different channels. This is about how you create engagement, how you get people to want to comment. This is it. It is hitting people in the funny or hitting people in the feels. Okay, two things. So then one of the things that I wanted to do was to show you different brands, but they create engagement in a very, very, very different way. So let me take a look at Proteinworks. Now, as you can imagine, funnily enough, Proteinworks sell protein products. So they are primarily aimed at gym goers, at people who are into their health and fitness, people who might want to bulk up or slim down or on a special kind of diet, or just really into their health and wellness. Okay, so it might be actual gym goers, or it might be people who are personal trainers and coaches and nutritionists and all that kind of thing. So it's the health sphere. Okay, that is their customer, and that's their target audience. And as you can see with the rest of it, before I go into it, they mainly do product stuff, and they kind of show off how things work, and they also do a lot of recipes and things. So it's all geared around how you can make the most of their products and why their products are awesome. This one is a bit like the one that I've just shown you. It's a bit like Innocent, but in a different way. So Innocent, that's general. Thinking everyone's moaning about January, everyone hates January, so let's just poke fun at January, right? That was to lighten the mood, to create engagement. This is about understanding your customer and creating engagement through that understanding. So here it is, tell us you're into fitness without telling us you're into fitness. And then the given suggestion. So you double up on the turkey for that protein, you get protein powder and healthy snacks for Christmas. You looked up your gym's Christmas opening times, and you asked for gym wear or gym equipment for your Christmas. Merry Christmas from all of us here at Proteinworks. So this is them going, right, we know you, right? Let's, it's that whole, with something like fitness, or even like with mum groups or dad groups, or people who are into, I don't know, equestrians, or people who are into a certain type of hobby or a thing, it feels like a community. So what this is them going, come on community, let's chat, let's take the mickey out of each other and talk about why us being into fitness is so hilarious, and why it's so obvious. So tell us that you're into fitness without telling us you're into fitness. Christmas edition, drop yours below. You eat turkey even though you don't like the taste, purely for the protein, all of the above, protein, protein, protein. You only have 3 pigs in blankets, chicken and rice cake and Christmas fish. It's just hilarious. And so from this, if you think about it, what they're doing is they are just engaging with you on a different level. They understand that their audience is massively into their fitness, and they understand that with general people who are really into their fitness, they usually have loads of people around them that aren't into their fitness who take the mickey out of them. So that's what this is. This is about engagement. And then of course what you can do, if I was these guys, is I would take some of this and turn it into little stories, and I would tag in the person. I would make sure I always respond back to them, which they have. Okay, so they've put petition to remove turkey from Christmas dinners altogether. Honestly, don't know why we do it to ourselves year after year. Just things like that. So that is them going back and engaging. This was all about, you're our current audience. We know you. We love you. We want to invite you in, and we want to engage with you. Any business can do this. It is about understanding your customer and then getting them to talk about something that means something to them. You might be, I don't know, a pet shop owner. You might be a dog walker. Everyone loves talking about their dogs. Everyone's obsessed with their dogs. And, at Christmas or an Easter, there might be, you're talking about what says that you're a dog owner without saying you're a dog owner. And it might be a daft picture that you put up, or it might be an emoji, or it might be something funny that the dog has done that day. People will engage with it. No different to if you are a deli and you sell huge foot-long sandwiches, what says that, you love you love your carbs more, without saying that you love carbs, right? Anyone can do something like this because it will engage your audience. So give it a go, try it. Think about this versus the funny, the hitting them with the funny and hitting them in the feels. This is because you know them and you are them. So you talk to them about themselves. That's what this is. So that creates that extra engagement, guys. So speaking of conversations and speaking of content, now remember, we have created a really cool new tool. So let me click on it here. I want to show you, and then I'm going to make some content suggestions. So we've obviously looked at the different channels, we've looked at different types of content, now we've looked at the different tactics that they use on the different channels. The one thing that I get nearly every single week whenever I talk to businesses individually or even on here is, how do you plan your content? How do you know what to say? I spend hours a week coming up with content. I never know what to do. Well, what we're trying to do is make it easier for you. And so one of the things we talk a lot about is sort of, pulling out a campaign or pulling out something that's, a national topic or on a national day, and then sort of hanging your content off the back of it, if you like. So what we've done with this is we have created a full content calendar for the entire year, and we filled it with all of the national days, all of the national campaigns. We've done it for, I think, the US and the UK, and we've even put some content ideas in there. And guess what? There's loads of exciting things coming on the platform to make this even easier in terms of scheduling and even creating content. But I'm not going to tell you any more about that until it's done, or else I will be, yes, I'll be given into trouble. So instead, what I'm going to do today is to talk to you about what we've actually got here, which is just exciting. So here, that we've got all the tabs here where basically you can just click on them. Now, I am going to go into February because guess what? It's almost February. So this last couple of weeks we've talked about, it was National Kiss of Ginger Day. What else have we had? Oh, we've had so many things, but guess what? There's so many important things that are coming up now that we need to be thinking about. If we're any kind of business, it doesn't really matter. It's all about thinking about how can you support something that's important in terms of a cause, or it might be something that's really, really silly, actually, that you think, oh my God, that totally suits my brand. So here, obviously, we've got some huge months, so we've got LGBT History Month, which is massive, 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 and a huge topic. So if that is something that resonates with you, as it should do, then, and you want to be inclusive and you want to show that you're supportive as a business, then get involved in this conversation. So we've got, we put like the event and URL in for you. We put all the awareness months and what they mean. We've even then put some content. So we've explained, about a bit about LGBT, and obviously it's LGBTQ plus History Month, and it takes place in the whole of February each year, and it's a history month dedicated to promoting LGBT equality. LGBT plus History Month is for everyone, whether you work in education, museum, library. So basically, we're giving you the content that you need to start a conversation. What you choose to do with that is up to you. But basically, we're going, guys, this is here. You can use it. So whether it is that you, it might be LGBTQ plus artists, it might be people within your community that you want to celebrate. It might be people within your team that you want to celebrate. It might be I don't know, it could be an event that's going on in your local area, but it's something that you can think about, do you know what, content wise, that really speaks to me, and it speaks to my customers, I want to support this. And then sort of going further down, we've got loads of good ones. A classic is Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is something that most people know. Groundhog Day is huge, obviously, over in America and Canada. It might be that you just want to put up a GIF of the film from 100 years ago. Then we have, let me have a look for something that's funny. There we go, World Nutella Day, right? So here we've put in a little suggestion of what you might want to write. So February 5th is World Nutella Day. I would have sworn blind that I'm the biggest Nutella fan going. However, the presence of this day suggests otherwise. And then we put why it was created and how. So could it be that you're a cafe and you sell something with Nutella in it and you want to just shove that out? It might be that you go, the first 10 people today that come in that say, I love Nutella, gets a free cake or a free donut or, something like that. It might just be that you just love Nutella and you want to use some gifts and fun stuff around it. It might be that you want to do a little free giveaway. It might be you want to do a competition. But as you can see, there are loads and loads of different things that are all coming up. Some are obviously charitable, some are, Children's Mental Health Week is huge. And again, if you are, a children's brand or family brand, why wouldn't you be in any way supporting this, or at the very least engaging in the hashtag so that you can see what content's there? There might be stuff that you can share that might support some of your customers. So yes, there's different ways of doing it. There's big, important, huge topics which we should all be talking about and engaging with. And then there's some little fun stuff that, just might speak to your brand or speak to you, and it's worth doing. So as we basically can send this out to you now. So if you say yes in the Q&A button, I will get that sent out to you today. And it means that you can start just planning in all of your content. And as you can see, we've got it, like for March, we've got it April, all the way through to the end of the year. And then any new ones that obviously happen to pop up, obviously we will put in and keep developing this. But hopefully this will be really helpful for you guys in coming up with some, just content ideas for the rest of the year. Because remember, you're not supposed to do all of them. Pick one a month, something like that. And it just helps you a little bit with coming up with some fun stuff. So remember, we've got all the tools and support that you need here. So we've got all the social media tools. You can schedule advertising, reporting, learning from any competitor. Every day we have a different training session. So Monday it's how to use Maybe. Tuesday, basically, if you don't know your Instagram from your Facebook, go on there. Wednesday, me with all this fun stuff. Thursday we've got ads for beginners. Friday we've got advanced ads. So honestly, it's amazing. They're just learning, like how to go from, earning this much from an ad to this much from an ad, and the different tactics you can use. And then we've got all the amazing training. So we've got a training hub where literally, between me and the team, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little how-to videos, from how to create a Google business profile through to why did this baker smash it using hashtags on social media. Loads of great stuff. So key takeaways for me today are: use Reels to boost your content. Think pizza at Asda. So again, Aldi on Instagram could have boosted that content further by turning even an individual picture into a reel to boost it a little bit. So think about how you can use Reels, how you can use the different channels slightly differently, even if it's the same content. But then if you notice content performing better on one channel than another, spot the pattern, spot what it is that's making that work slightly differently. And usually what you'll find is either lack of hashtags, or it is that you've not asked them to do something off the back of it, or not made it easy for them to know what it is that you want them to do. Just like Innocent, make sure you understand your customers, use memes, gifs and humor to engage them if it suits your brand. Think about what tickles them, what are they dealing with at the moment, what would make them go, oh my God, that's so me today, that kind of thing. Protein works. So think about engaging. So think about, how can you get your audience to engage? Well, if you really know your audience and, it's a particular type, so it might be, everybody all comes together that kind of celebrates a particular thing, then point that out and talk to them. And whether it's taking the mickey or whether it's asking for, like heartwarming stories, it doesn't matter, but it's all about showing that you get them and you understand your audience. And then of course, set up your free Maybe account and get started, because you can learn so much from what we do here. And that is why we're here every week in, week out, doing this, creating this content for you guys, because we want you guys to learn, we want you guys to grow, and we want to help grow your businesses. So here you go, you just set it up at maybetech.com and just start learning from other brands.